It's Megan Wise, and I am so excited to film our portfolio podcast. It's talking all about portfolio, profits, real estate, investing in Indianapolis, and I'm so excited. Michelle Romano, hello, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My dear coworker and friend now, and she is here today to talk about her journey from becoming a Navy. Would you say a Navy veteran?
Yes.
How many years were you in the Navy?
6.5 years
Wow.
active duty.
Active duty. Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure.
And then you leveraged that to become a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was your specialty in nursing?
So I've done a few different things,
Yeah.
but the last 10 years I was a psych nurse in a psychiatric intensive care unit.
Wow.
So,
Cool.
to say it was a little crazy.
Intense.
It's an understatement.
Yeah.
But I was a combat medic in the military, so it just kind of felt natural. to shift to nursing.
That's amazing.
And,
Give your care to that clientele.
Yeah.
And then you became an investor.
I did.
Right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I always still kind of call myself a baby investor, but I was living in a home. It was just me and my young son, and I bought a house that was too big for me.
Yep.
And I was
like a lot of people.
Right. I thought I was going to have some different circumstances, and it turned out it was just, me and my son, and I had all this space that I wasn't using, and so it was actually my mom. Love her.
God bless your mom.
Yes, God bless my mom. She was like, I heard about, travel nurses looking for a room. And I was like, oh, okay. So I liked that idea because I wanted to rent a room out, but I wasn't sure about like having somebody live long term that I didn't know. And so I found the travel nursing world, which I felt comfortable with since I was still a nurse. And I had this like in-laws suite in my house, and I started renting it out. And after a few months, I was like, gosh, this lady is hardly ever here.
Right.
She's wonderful. She's a nurse, so she's working all the time, and she happened to live in Chicago. So on her days off, she would just drive back home because she had a husband, and she just was looking for a job to do before she retired from nursing permanently. Okay. So she was like a mom in the house.
So these nurses take on 3, 4, 5 month assignments, right? And they need somewhere to live, and they don't want to be in a hotel.
Right.
They like the idea of being in a lovely, homey home. And you rented out your extra bedrooms to these traveling nurses. It could be anybody, right? But the traveling nurses was a niche because you already knew, since you were a nurse, you knew how to contact these people, how to look for these, kind of contracts to nurse.
Yeah, absolutely. After a couple of months, I was like, gosh, this lady is paying over half my mortgage.
Amazing.
I have another room.
As a single mom, and you have half your mortgage paid for,
that was huge.
She's barely there. That's a giant win.
Well, so then I decided, I have another spare bedroom. Let me just go ahead and rent out 2. And then 2 turned into 3. I had a 5-bedroom home. My son and I each had one. And it really sparked something in me that I was like, I like this. And I've always had this kind of entrepreneurial spirit, but, I was doing what society tells us, go the safe route, be a nurse, have a 9 to 5, have a W-2, and it just something didn't really ever sit quite right with me. Like I feel like there was more, and that house hack turned into a whole new world for me.
So you got excited into real estate because you house hacked.
Yes.
You were paying more than half your mortgage.
Well, once I had someone move into the second room, it was more than my mortgage.
Wow.
So at one point, after the third room, I was having all living expenses paid for.
Wow.
And I thought, I can do this again.
Amazing. And you did.
Yeah.
And you did it again.
And I
did.
did.
So in that time, you also get your real estate license, right?
I did.
So it kind of sparked this idea of like, I'm an investor. You're not a baby investor anymore because you went ahead and bought another one.
I did.
Tell us about
quite a big house.
A bigger home.
Yes, a bigger home. Still 5 bedrooms, but every bedroom has an ensuite. And
amazing.
So to me, I walked into that house, and I actually was, since I'm a realtor, I had originally gone to see it for another client.
Oh,
he wasn't interested in it. And I was like, thank goodness.
Yes.
Because as soon as I walked into the house, all I saw was dollar signs. Yeah. So I bought it as a business decision.
Heck yeah, you did.
And it's a gorgeous house, new construction, like over 4,500 square feet. I mean, it's huge.
And it's closer to your son's school.
It's closer to my son's
school. And now
school.
you are not a baby investor. You're a real-time investor.
Right.
And you focus on these midterm rentals. And so you are able to rent out multiple homes or multiple rooms in that home. Amazing.
Yes. Yes, and again, that's, just those rooms are covering the mortgage. So I haven't paid to live in a home for years now.
Amen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a great relief of a lack of a pressure.
Absolutely.
Because you have a son and family to take care of, and your investments are paying for your living.
Yep.
So you can go be an entrepreneur and be an investor and also help people become investors as well, right?
Absolutely.
So this kind of, how did this turn into that you are basically the midterm, short-term expert in the city?
That seems to be how it's turning out to be.
That's what's happened. Is you've not done this more than once. You're completely covering all your mortgages. You are all plus some.
Yes.
You have more investments coming. Now you help investors do this, and now you consult investors.
I do.
On top of helping people buy and sell real estate.
Absolutely. One person turned into, hey, I know this girl that does this, and now it's constantly getting calls for people asking for my help.
I love that.
In the midterm space, so I'm able to go and price what I think people should pay for rooms, like my recommendations, all the things, and in my mind I thought, oh, well, this is easy, but then I realized, no, it's not. It's because I've been doing it.
Yes.
And I've experienced it, multiple times now, that now I'm really able to give people like the help that they're looking for.
Yeah, and you're willing to share, whether it's your buyers, whether it's other realtors.
Yes.
Yeah. Whether just people who are wanting to rent, like, is this number okay to rent the space? I mean, so those are the numbers that you work with all the time,
right?
And you're willing to share,
right? And I know the market.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I know the Indianapolis market,
nice.
And I still have a lot of nursing connections, which is nice. And yeah, it's really been a great path so far.
Yeah, and you just kind of stumbled into it.
I did.
Right? Like a lot of people in real estate and investing, you just stumble into it. You found some magic. And you're making a lot of money on top of providing great homes for these midterm kind of tenants, right?
Absolutely. And I think one of the things too that I noticed is I, became an agent to initially be a better investor.
Yeah.
And then I realized that there was kind of a lack of knowledge with most real estate agents.
Yes.
No offense to those that don't, but I realized like a lot of agents really don't have any idea about the investing side of the world. And there's a lot of investors that are looking for agents that know about investors.
Yes.
And
there's just a huge lack of education.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, brokerages all became into existence well before investing, generational wealth, Airbnbs, and all this kind of came to fruition. Buy land, all of that stuff was created well after brokerages created their training programs, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think that's where our special sauce is with Portfolio, is that
for sure.
And you got to speak about midterm rentals, and you got paid for it last week.
I did.
So cool, because
yes,
your expertise is precious, and you bet on yourself, and you did this, and you're willing to help others.
Absolutely.
So and now you're also selling and helping people buy and sell real estate. And talk to us a little bit about your niche and giving back to the veteran community.
Yes, so definitely my two things that I focus on are investors. I go to a lot of different real estate, meetings, meetups. I'm, pretty involved in that world. But something is kind of, we all have goals. And one of the things I think is important to have, yes, it's important to have like monetary goals and career goals, but something that's important to me is what I call soul goals. And that's just something that really kind of like fills my cup. And for me, being a veteran and being in the military was one of the most meaningful, profound parts of my life. And I have such a love for my fellow veterans that's really kind of a niche that I focus on too. And I think one of the big things is VA loans kind of have a
bad rap.
They do. There's a lot of knowledge that people don't know about it, and they oh no, don't use that. And really, it's the best loan product out there, hands down. So I want to encourage vets to use that loan product, right? Because it's a benefit that they fought for, that they deserve.
Yes.
And so I do a lot in the veteran community, but I also, from a realtor and investor standpoint, want to help other veterans, either buy their first home or to become investors too.
Yeah, just like you.
And utilize, the VA loan a lot of people don't know, you could buy a fourplex with a VA loan, and as long as you occupy one of those units, you can have the other three as an investment property. So when people say, oh, you can't buy an investment property with a VA loan. No, you can. You can, and you can go in with another vet, get up to a 6 unit that has like a business retail space part of it. There are so many things that people don't know, and they make these blanket statements about, oh yeah, you can't do this or that. But no, as long as you occupy that as your primary residence, there's so much more you can do. Yes, house hacking.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and both of the properties, the midterm rentals that I bought with my VA loan. Which was a huge benefit. Down. Yes, yeah. So
keep your money in your pocket.
Absolutely.
So I feel like you're also growing this twofold on your Instagram and on your social media. So people need to follow you to understand the niches of the VA loan and how a veteran can buy or sell or invest. Whether you're a veteran or not, you have some great tools and some information. Absolutely. But I think it's important, like military spouses, to know about this.
For sure.
Because no one really takes advantage of it. And I also feel like we should do a better job of, when we teach, our listing agents are like, oh, it's the VA loan.
Yes.
It doesn't, as long as your wood rot on the side is fixed, your VA appraiser is not going to get it, right? So there's just a little bit of like things you got to double check on terms of condition.
Right.
When you're thinking about a VA buyer purchasing a listing.
Absolutely.
Other than that, if you're talking it out, it's not that complicated.
It's pretty simple, and I think we just have to dispel some of those myths.
Yes.
And kind of put the information and the education out there. Like VA loan buyers are not inferior buyers.
No, they are not.
Actually, statistically, they
close
more often than
they
others. So it's just really trying to get that information, that education out there.
What's your next step on investing, or what's the next investment? I know you and I have talked a little bit about the flip.
Yes, that's definitely right now figuring out how I'm going to do my next flip.
Yep.
Actually, one thing that I absolutely love about Keller Williams' portfolio is that we do have so many investors.
Yes.
So love Zach.
Yes.
Zach and I have decided that we're going to do a flip together.
Awesome.
So
Zach Canal he's had about 40 flips on his hands. And so you guys are going to partner up.
Yes.
Do your first flip? Is it your first one?
Yes.
Oh, exciting. Okay.
So I think that's an important thing. Yes, I've been in the investment world, but I haven't done a flip. So, don't just jump into things without knowing. Right? Partner with somebody who does know what they're doing, and you can learn from
and along the way and trust. And I think that's what's cool about portfolios. We have our in-house contractors, we have in-house flippers, we have Peter at Bigger Pockets, just like Sarah's design. And I feel like you have what it takes to flip. And if you want to partner up with someone to handhold you a little bit the first time, we have the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And then you know that your bottom dollar is protected because you're not as risky when you have a partner.
Yes. Calculated risk. Calculated risk. That's what we like to do.
We are discussing it 24/7. When you transferred from your last brokerage, you came to portfolio, and I think I told you to bet on yourself.
Yes.
If you remember that. And it's just been such a pleasure to watch you because you came March or so of 2024.
I think actually like May.
May. Wow. Yeah. So only in about 6 or 7 months, right, together.
Yeah.
And you've done broke records. You've sold more than you've ever sold.
Yep.
You sold your largest listing to date. Yes. You have been paid to speak about your midterm expertise and continuing to do so. Yeah. And now you have a brand new consulting company.
Yes.
Because you found out that there are people who want to do what you do, but they don't know how to get started.
Yes.
And you will handhold them.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a one-time consulting fee or whether it's like, I'll help you through the whole process. Affordable, available help. And I just think it's so great that you're willing to share.
Oh yeah. I think it's not about competition. I think, the more that you give back, it comes back to you.
Exactly. And the fact that we can put food on the table, we can sit here and talk about investing. So thankful that we have the lives that we have and why we want to share that with our friends and our family and our clients, right?
For sure.
And I am so thankful that you researched different brokerages and you took the chance to come with us because your star has grown so much. I think your income has grown, your confidence has grown. You're now started a new company, a consulting company for midterm.
Right.
And I think it's so neat because just today, one of the OG investors of all of Indianapolis
Yes.
real estate called
Yes.
you.
Just got off the phone with
them to say, hey, I need your help on
Yeah.
how do you price this midterm?
Right.
And I mean, that's to show when you are around the right people, you believe in yourself, and you're around people who believe in themselves.
Yes.
And we're all going to the same place together. We're all trying to hit our goals and have passive income, generational wealth for our kids. And it just makes me so proud because you've come so far from when we first met. And I think you had this inside of you, this spark and this investing. And I'm so glad you bet on yourself early.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be honest, like I was happy with my brokerage before. I was a little sad to leave. Yeah. I had the best managing broker ever. And she was a wonderful person, but even she was, she saw to how much I wanted to go forward in the investing world, and what I saw with Keller Williams portfolio was just that, that it was more than just a brokerage. It was about really instilling in agents like they
life
can be
by
investors
design
too.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely
invest in yourself and also help your clients invest.
Mm-hmm.
We're top 10 in the nation, sometimes top 5 in the nation. Place to invest is Indianapolis. It's in our backyard. Why are we all not preaching it from the mountaintops, right? And I guess I just want to thank you for sharing with everybody. And I'd love to know, like, anything for your future goals. You're going to do a flip this year, and you're willing to share and help others.
Absolutely.
And you will do that for as long as you possibly can, right?
Yes, for sure.
And anything else to share to the audience? Like, follow you. We're going to be on your Instagram page. We'll link it and everything.
For sure. Yeah. And I have two. I have one that is just for the veterans. I mean, you don't have to be a veteran to follow, but that's where I put out like different veteran tips and information.
Okay.
I do want to grow that just to put out. There's so much information that I think that a lot of veterans don't even know about. And it's not just real estate, even when it comes to like, our healthcare benefits or eligibility or, our disability compensation. I answer questions all the time.
I bet, and complex.
And I just want to start building that up so that people can have a place like kind of like an easy button. I put on there, I do the homework for you.
Oh,
so
I love
if
that.
they have questions, I will provide the answers.
I love
and then of course I have my real estate one.
And we had you share to our team about the midterm rental and your expertise there. And just overall numbers about within your two investment properties, how much gross do you make a year on those properties?
So combined, and mind you, I live in one of them, so I'm still house hacking. So even with me living there, it pulls in gross about $90,000 a year.
That's amazing. So $90K in 2 houses bought with your VA loan with no money out of your pocket.
Right.
So let's go encourage all the veterans out there to take advantage of this amazing loan package to house hack, invest, or upgrade or downsize too. So let's go sell some more houses, sell some investments. Follow Michelle. She is building 2 different brands, one just for veterans and the homework and all the complexities of what to do with all the benefits that you do have. And then also being an investor realtor and sharing that kind of information. And follow her for her future flip and follow us all along. We have another flip on Keller Williams portfolio pages. And if you're ever interested anything with veterans or midterm, Michelle's your girl. Thank you so much.